Thank you immensely. An amazing honor to stand in front of so many people who, like every other person in the world, love freedom. My name's Tom Garrett. I'm from the 5th Congressional District of Virginia, where the first representative elected to serve in Congress was a man named James Madison, who drafted the Constitution of the United States, and where our third president, Thomas Jefferson, lived when he drafted the following words: "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." The world needs to know the scope and scale of the oppression of the Iranian regime. The world needs to know. As an American, I tend to break things down into American terms, so if you take the 120,000 people murdered by this regime in 1979 and 1988 and 2009, and you convert for the population difference between the United States, it would be the equivalent of all the Americans who died in the entire Second World War. That was perpetrated by a nation on its own people. Many times as many were imprisoned, many times again more exiled. From an American perspective, that's as many Americans as who died in the Second World War. That's a prison population, not in prison for crimes of theft or violence, but for crimes of thought and conscience, the size of the population of New Mexico, and it's an exile community the size of the entire population of the state of New York. The world needs to know, and I am here to tell them, and you are here to tell them, and we will tell the world. Like many of the millennials that my colleague Congressman Poe addressed, I don't remember very well the events of 1988, but I do remember watching in 2009 during the Green Revolution, first with respect and awe and admiration, and then with shame and horror and disgust, as people rose up and demanded freedom, and the world community and the American government did nothing. And I will not stand for that. At the very least, I will raise my voice and stand united with the people who insist on a free Iran. I didn't go to Congress to watch. You didn't come here to watch. I came to change business as usual. You came to change business as usual. Let us put our friends and our enemies on notice alike. We are many, and we will prevail. There can be no change, however, without addressing the instrument of horror that props up the oppressive mullahs. The IRGC must be eviscerated. I thank Congressman Poe, Congressman McCall, my colleagues, for the IRGC terror designation bill. The IRGC controls the entire black market economy. They control a huge percentage of the entire economy. They use those monies to fund terror literally across the globe, to oppress voices of dissent in Iran, and to kill Iranians in their own streets. So I will say this, not specifically to the people of Iran gathered here today, but to the leaders from around the world. It is time for us to ask the world community if they would rather do business with the United States or with the IRGC. And so in the spirit of universal brotherhood and respect for all peaceful practitioners of all faiths, I'll leave by adapting a historical phrase. It is my sincerest hope that I see each and every one of you again next year in Tehran.